Welcome to the web. Oh, sorry. No, I got confused there. I always ask how they're doing and stuff, and I thought someone was talking back. I thought I could hear them, but I couldn't. Just like always, we got a great show for you guys today. This just in: you can't Bing Reddit, which on the surface of it is just nonsense words, but
yeah,
when you go a little deeper, it looks pretty bad. Yeah, search engines other than Google search are now unable to produce results from Reddit, more recent than a few weeks ago. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. We also are going to talk about, I don't know, LTT is AI now? Yes, a bunch of our videos were used to train an AI, so I guess we'll chat about that. What else we got for today?
Olympics 1, the Olympics of Esports, including League of Legends, Rocket League, Street Fighter, Tekken, iRacing, NBA 2K, and FIFA, and more, maybe other stuff is happening. I don't know. Also, Olympics 2. We have multiple Olympics topics.
Oh, no.
Apparently, the Canadians spied on opponents with drones.
I mean, that's kind of technology related, right?
What are we doing? What are we up to? What's going on? How do we do that? I did not inspect the topics ahead of time.
The show is brought to you today by AG1, Squarespace, Green Man Gaming, and of course, our chair partner, Secret Lab. You can't Bing Reddit. That's right, search engines other than Google search are now unable to produce results from Reddit more recent than a few weeks ago, likely because Reddit has been blocking indexing bots from other companies. Google, of course, has an exclusive contract with Reddit. So when we had those conversations about how on earth is Reddit going to be making money,
maybe this is how.
Apparently, this is one of the ways, not just licensing the treasure trove of data that they have to AI companies for training their models, but also by apparently making any search engine other than Google nigh unusable. I mean, everyone knows the trick.
Yeah.
Searching for what it is that you need to know and then appending Reddit to it in order to find an answer, because search engines are basically just sponsored results and garbage now. Despite maintaining a market share of nearly 92%, Google apparently felt that its near monopoly over search may be threatened by advancements by rival AI companies such as OpenAI, who recently unveiled their Search GPT prototype, and apparently they entered into this agreement. Now, our discussion question here is, what kind of precedent does this set for the rest of the internet? And the answer is a terrible one. I mean, I don't think anyone in good faith would tell me that I'm being all slippery slope fallacy about this when I say that if Google were to, say, for example, extend this to only allowing a YouTube video search result to be surfaced by their own search engine.
If that happened, I would not be able to find anything useful on any other search engine.
Or if Microsoft were to make an exclusive deal with, I don't know, various news media, so that you could only get results from them by searching through the start menu on Windows. I mean, turning the internet into this fragmented, walled-off garden is bad enough. Doing it with content that was user-generated, that you didn't even pay to create, is so much worse.
This also, I think, as you were kind of saying, this probably does start an arms race. We were struggling to think of one, but Floatplane Chat, and I just lost who said it, sorry. But Floatplane Chat pointed out Stack Overflow. Like, if Bing gets GitHub and Stack Overflow, and Google gets Reddit and YouTube.
So you've got the developer search engine, you've got the, angry person in their basement search engine.
Yeah. Okay, so Google gets YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. Okay, sounds good. Then we can have the boomer search engine, which gets Facebook and I don't know what else, but something.
Dude, this is terrible. Porto says Microsoft already owns GitHub, so yes, that was his point.
But it's not restricted from Google at this time.
Yes.
So if this starts an arm race, they might want to restrict the search results from Google.
I'm trying to think, and like,
it just sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, there is absolutely no argument that you can make for how this is a good thing, and this is something that anybody should support. Now, fortunately, the FTC apparently has already caught wind of this and is. Hold on, I'm going to double check this because it might have actually been something else. Google, Reddit. Hold on. I'm just going to make sure. Into deals licensing its users Reddit almost a month ago. The arrangement will give. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to make sure. Given the novel nature of these technologies, we're not surprised that Reddit wrote. Okay, no, this was around them licensing the user data for AI platforms. So I don't think it's actually related to this particular one. But thankfully, Reddit licensing their user data is at least on the FTC's radar, and hopefully they can continue to keep an eye on this and make sure that this doesn't become a thing. Handyman says, on Floatplane says, but money, Linus, but money. I don't know. Corey's the name says Reddit's destroying itself. I've been using it nearly daily for almost 15 years. It's very rapidly declining. It'll be dig soon and something will replace. What? What will replace it? I haven't seen anything gain anywhere near any kind of momentum. And Luke and I have talked about this, but the incumbent momentum feels so much greater today than it was even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because of the historical knowledge. That's the value of a site like Reddit. It's not even the active user count today necessarily. It's the user-generated content that's been posted over the last 15 years. Those questions and answers, that discussion.
There's also been a shift in how people use the internet. Users now are more or less unwilling to go to a variety of websites. Users will have their small subset, often a very small amount, like 5 to 10 sites that they actually go to. Like you might be a person who goes to Reddit, Imgur, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I don't know, but you do not use websites outside of that. It's a huge thing. A lot of it is user behavior, and it makes it really, really, really hard for alternative sites to show up. Because, if you wanted to start an alternative of YouTube, well, people aren't going to get off of Twitch and YouTube. They will not get off of those websites to view yours, even if you have the best version of a certain type of content. They just won't watch it.
Yeah, we talked about this a fair bit when we were discussing the challenges facing gun creators on YouTube right now. Like the obvious solution to people who don't know what they're talking about is, well, why don't you all just go upload somewhere else? There's strength in numbers.
They've tried that multiple times.
But your numbers are so small.
Yeah.
They're small and they're meaningless numbers.
And when you're dealing with stuff like video delivery on the internet, the cost savings comes in massive, massive volume.
Yeah. Yahoo search, Ask Jeeves. Well, this is the thing, though.
It's restricted from all others.
This is what opens this up very obviously to antitrust. I don't even understand why Google bothered to try to sign this deal, because they're already dominant today. They don't have a nascent competitor to crush right now that they could effectively force out of business while any antitrust litigation makes its way through the system. Well, right? Why bother with this right now?
Because of OpenAI's Search GPT is what this.
Sure, but you're not going to starve. You're not going to starve out OpenAI.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Microsoft's backing. They're literally either. Are they behind NVIDIA or ahead of Apple? I don't know where they are right now, but they're one of the 3 most valuable companies in the world. This isn't some startup that you can damage by buying protection for your monopoly until they just go away. OpenAI is not going away anytime soon. So what is the point of even doing this?
I do think Google's in a really bad spot in general. So they might be kind of grasping at straws. Search has never been worse. Drive search is functionally useless. Gmail search is really bad. All the search products right now are rough.
Dude, never mind the search products. Google can't search for shit right now.
Yeah.
Do you remember Okay, this one can do it.
Gmail search, the search bar at the top of Gmail. What do you mean?
Dude, I was trying to find. Okay, there's a Trello card. We use Trello for task management. Well, some of our teams do. We have some streamlining to do. The point is, we have a Trello license. And I was trying to find a Trello card, and it used to be, and this is a super convenient feature, that you could just start typing in the top of Chrome, and if you typed in keywords that were similar to the URL of a page that you've visited in the past, it would just auto-populate and it would find it and you could just press enter. So what I was looking for was a card called LMG Review. So that's what we call my final review pass of an LTT video once everyone else has done like quality and fact-checking passes, and I'm looking to see if I catch anything. So I just wanted to go to that tab. I wanted to go to that card. It's one that I've visited 100 times. And I typed it in, and nothing. Then I was like, does this just not even work anymore at all? And then I typed in perpetual, which I think you probably know what doc I was looking for.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so perpetual is what we use for finding the WAN Show document. The perpetual WAN Show live stream document. It's one that I promise I have accessed at some point or another on every computer I own, because either, I'm reviewing topics for the next week, or I'm using
Streaming
it
from a weird location.
Yeah. I definitely have accessed it, and it didn't come up. And I was just like, this is flipping unbelievable. It used to be so consistent.
In general right now actually seem like they're genuinely getting worse. Not like they're just getting older and certain other products are improving. Like they actually feel like they're declining in value and quality. And they're just shutting down things that they have. Like recently their URL shortener gotten rid of officially. I think for a long time now you haven't been able to create new shortened URLs, but I think they're the old shortened URLs are
stop working.
non-working. Yeah.
Yep.
So like they keep shutting things down and making what they have actively worse.
Dude, can someone
Google?
Okay, out yourself. Is anyone from Google watching right now?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, please, in simple English, so that I, a blonde, can understand? Almost got him. Can you explain to me why it is that when I go to docs.google.com, it is so flipping hard to find a doc that someone just shared with me compared to if I go to drive.google.com? Why? Why is that? Why is it the interface so obtuse? Guys, let me know. If you disagree. Porto, yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad.
But like even the search in drive.google.com is garbage.
Well, yeah, sure. But that's a completely separate level of, like,
Totally.
it's a different level of garbage.
Yeah.
The fact that someone can share me on a doc and I literally cannot find it in docs.google.com drives me just batty. I don't know how to deal with how angry it makes me.
I don't want to make our company leave Google Workspace because there's things about being in Google Workspace that I like a lot. Like I really like Google Calendar, for example. But Drive search might be one of the things that like nail in the coffins our workspace license, because it's actually so bad that it's starting to noticeably negatively impact people's ability to do their job, which is wild. Yeah,
and it's stupid stuff. Like, here, check this out. Okay, why is the interface different? When I'm in docs, what is this? This is this. That's what this is. Not this. This is where I would go for sheets or whatever. See, look. This is what the Drive interface looks like. Why? Don't worry, this is just the WAN Show account. There's nothing.
Okay.
Just chill.
All right.
Why is this set up like this? I don't get it. They should be the same, obviously. East Coast Sunrise, that interface hasn't been touched in a decade. Well, one of them has. They should be the same, obviously. Is it a problem with the file organization or naming schemes? No, because, I mean, look, the thing is that a lot of the time, a cloud drive is not particularly organized because you might not be the only person who has access to it. So even if you have the best of intentions for keeping everything perfectly laid out and perfectly organized, it doesn't always work out that way because people are going to be sharing you on drives, sharing you on individual documents, sharing you on the document, then sharing you on the drive. And you don't always have control over that. So making the interface intuitive is super important. Making it easy to find a recent document is super, super important.
I have this persistent problem where whenever we do quarterly reviews internally, I try to find the folder that I'm supposed to dump quarterly reviews into. But if I search quarterly review, despite one of the folders in the tree being called quarterly review, it will not come up. I can go through every single result that comes up through the search. I can skip through the pages, do everything. It will not come up, despite the folder being called that in Drive. You'd think it would come up. It will not. So I had to get the person who shared me on that folder to send me the direct link, and then I starred it in Google Drive so that I can find it in the stars because it is genuinely unsearchable for me. If I try to search for the tree that it's in, then it's a problem because someone else made this folder structure. So they used, as an example, I'll use something that is slightly different. But as an example, they used a folder called infrastructure. It's like, how many times do you think a folder named infrastructure has been shared with me?
A lot.
And then when I search for it, there's 40 of them. I'm like, I don't know which one is the right one. So I always have to go back to this. It's like, man, how can it not find quarterly review? Sure, I'm going to have a bunch of documents called quarterly review, but let me sort by documents and folders, then I'll find it instantly. Mm-hmm. But no, it just doesn't work. Why? Oh, man. I could have found that with File Explorer on Windows XP. This is ridiculous.
Well, I actually have this in the video concepts bin right now. Was Windows XP as good as we remember it being?
No, probably not.
I wanna make that video because I feel like there's these nostalgia glasses for Windows XP. Windows XP search was kind of a piece of garbage.
Probably.
It was not very good.
Could you index back then? Or was that Windows 7?
No, you could, but it took forever, part of which was because we were all on mechanical storage at the time, but it took forever. And it was not perfect.
I'm pretty sure I ran indexing back in the day.
Oh yeah, you could run it. It wasn't.
But I also enjoyed doing things like that. Defragging was so cool.
Watching the little animations and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day that I thought would be interesting to do a video on, but I was the reason why I haven't brought it up with you or James is because I haven't thought of a title that makes it worthy of people clicking on it. But what the heck were briefcases?
Oh yeah, I saw this popped up for me recently as well. I saw a short or
Someone's
something like
no one
that.
ever used these properly, and I remember no, this was for moving things or something.
Yeah, it was for your floppy disk. So it would automatically sync to your floppy disk or something like that.
Yeah, it had some form of automatic syncing functionality.
Yeah, it was something like that. I never once used it, and I didn't really understand what they were for. I looked it up at some point, and it was essentially like Sync Toy or something like that.
Which is cool, actually.
Which is pretty cool, but the functionality was extremely limited, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So if you had an external hard drive, it kept apparently it could also be used for photo backup and stuff like that later. Auto sync with zip drive. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
It seems cool, but it's just really weird.
Woody Willis says it was clunky at best. I hated it. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that was one of the first options you had for a right click contextual menu was always baffling to me as someone who didn't work when operating systems that had that feature were a thing. I was like, what could this possibly be for?
One thing to remember too about the was Windows XP bad thing when I compared the search. If we want to go for Windows 7 even, that's from 2009, dude.
I hate how long ago 2009 was.
And the search on Windows 7 for finding files was actually fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
So we don't have to go as far back as XP, but we can go back to the point when I was in high school.
At this point, I think that Microsoft engineers are just memeing on Windows search.
Okay, so I agree, but we're currently talking about Google search.
I searched
which is actually worse.
Yeah. No.
Really?
Nothing is worse than Microsoft. I searched for an application I had installed, and it literally opened up a web page. Like I searched.
Did you just press enter right away?
I searched word for word. Like character for character.
Word for word in Google Drive, and it doesn't even find it at all.
Character for character.
It's gone as far as I can.
I typed in an application I had installed, and I pressed enter, and it opened up a web search. No. Google is not there yet.
I don't know, dude.
If you press enter too fast, it'll just find a completely different... It'll open a new window.
Well, no, it just won't find it at all.
Well, I don't know. Let's agree that they're both terrible.
Yeah, nice.
What are we supposed to be talking about right now, Dan? Can you get this thing back on the tracks here? Topic two. Okay, Luke, what do you want to talk about? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is where I got my wires crossed. This is what the FTC is actually conducting an investigation into.
The FTC won't let me be? The FTC is conducting an investigation into surveillance pricing. Yeah. That's an interesting name for it.
Dude, this is freaking terrible. Everything. Why is the news always bad? You know what? No. Next WAN show. I'm doing it right now. I'm tasking the team to have an
news?
all good news WAN show.
Only good news WAN show?
Next week, only good news.
There isn't going to be enough news.
Dude, no.
20-minute WAN show. Let's go.
No.
We'll have to make the news if there isn't enough news.
Positive sentiment does
Next
not
week,
sell.
All good news on WAN show.
Only good news WAN show.
Let's go. Okay. Yeah. There. It's done.
All right. FTC is conducting an investigation into surveillance pricing, aka individualized surge pricing, where an algorithm leverages data on a single user's demographics and past behavior to quickly change the prices offered to them and potentially offer some people far higher prices for the same product. While this is a known tactic in the gaming industry, surprise, surprise, it's unclear to what extent this practice is being used by other industries. The commission announced that it would be ordering 8 companies, including MasterCard and JP Morgan Chase, that offer products and services that enable businesses to engage in surveillance pricing to turn over information about the impact these pricing schemes have on privacy, competition, and consumer protection. Rough.
Dude, I don't even know where to begin to talk about how not okay this is.
Yeah.
It's one thing, okay? If you're walking around a Walmart or something like that. And I'm not saying Walmart is doing this. In fact, I think they specifically claim they're not doing it, but who knows? But it's one thing. If you're walking around in Walmart and they realize that all of a sudden there's a run on toilet paper. Pun intended.
It made me grin so much it hurt my face.
Yeah,
that's a long story. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So there's a run on toilet paper, and they kind of go, okay, surge pricing, and they've got these remotely configurable price tags, and they can configure the price. It is an entirely different thing if you're on your phone looking up diarrhea treatments, and then as you are in the store and as you approach, the individual approach the shelf, the price ticks up before you can get there.
Because they're like, oh, he has this now.
Because you absolutely need it.
They're not stocking up. This is a reactive purchase. Let's charge more. They're going to buy it. They're not going to risk driving somewhere else.
Yeah. This is, okay, so let's use a more real world example, okay? Less hypothetical. Okay, Uber, right? They've got surge pricing during times of high demand and low supply, supposedly, where prices go up during peak travel hours. Okay, what if instead of it going up, because generally speaking, a lot of people are using the service, what if it goes up because you get a text from someone about a personal emergency and you are talking to them and you don't have your car, and Uber goes, interesting, and doubles your price. Now, that again actually is maybe a little bit far-fetched on the other side, because they would have to be tapped into, whatever comms you're using, and they would have to be able to put all that contextual data together. But I don't think that is necessarily a completely impossible outcome.
We've probably talked about this on WAN Show before, but in Finland, there's speeding tickets that are based on the offender's income.
which are based
And I've
in
always
general,
thought
by the
that
way.
was cool. This is not cool. This is not the same thing. This is rough. And this doesn't feel like it's going to be designed to like prey on the wealthy. This feels like it's going to be designed to prey on the vulnerable. Like almost guaranteed. So that's rough.
Lion King's IT guy says, yeah, Linus is literally talking about bereavement flight rates, except instead of giving a discount, they could just take advantage of you. And because it's so difficult for a third party to come in and investigate this practice without a whistleblower, pretty much delivering the algorithm or the code to investigators, because you can't observe it from the outside, right? Every individual just gets their individual pricing and the individual manipulation from the service. It's really, really hard to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Someone posted in Flowplane chat that I lost it, but that we're like acting like this doesn't already happen. Maybe there's a miscommunication. No, this is being investigated. This absolutely does already happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Floatplane chat's got some examples though. TC and DC says Uber could notice that you get in your car every day from a swanky office building. That address could go up over time. That is actually a great example. Techie93 says if they know you're getting a call from someone at a hospital, all they have to see is, man, that's crazy.
I think that's already built into standard surge pricing stuff. I understand it's not necessarily a surge, but I think they already have that going, like location-based pricing. I think that's existed for a long time. What they're currently talking about is more individual-based. Your habits, things like that, not necessarily like...
Yeah, they could notice... Oh, sorry. I miscommunicated that. So they notice you getting in from a swanky hotel pretty frequently, and then they just raise your prices in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the hospital one, that's been around for a long time. Or that type of thing has been around for a long time.
But that might not even be location, because I could be... I guess they can see my destination, but...
Like they might be able to tell, like, okay, you went to the hospital,
yeah,
and you go to the hospital every once in a while, but this time you immediately called another Uber to like a store. So like you forgot something, it seems like. And they're like, oh, okay, time to charge them more.
This is brutal, man. I hate this so much. Like I actually hate this. Yeah, surveillance pricing.
It's rough.
I'm sorry, guys.
In other good news, or not, this week, yet another YouTuber was threatened by yet another company called DCS. Again, it's a different company, but still. This time it was Stefan Fischer of All Off-Road 4x4 Adventures, who reviewed LFP batteries manufactured by Deep Cycle Systems. That's the DCS. While Fischer's review was initially positive, he later found that the battery's capacity degraded unexpectedly quickly over the course of the next few years. Fischer heard similar reports from other off-roading enthusiasts, so he tested the batteries and likewise had independent testers validate his results. These tests showed severe capacity loss. Fischer likewise reported on DCS customers who alleged that DCS's RMA process testing consistently resulted in rosy capacity estimations, leading to the company to refuse to replace faulty batteries. DCS is now suing Fischer for defamation.
Okay, I'm going to unword salad that a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically, he found out some customers were having a negative experience with DCS's RMA process, where DCS would get the batteries, basically go, oh no, yeah, we estimate that these still have good capacity, and then they would refuse to replace them.
Yeah. According to Louis Rossmann, DCS also retroactively changed its warranty on its website to reduce coverage without changing the last updated date, which reads as June 2021. Rossmann likewise says that the pages archiving this change appeared to have been removed from the Wayback Machine, though they were available via other archiving services.
How do you remove something from the Wayback Machine?
I think you can request it, but I'm surprised this one would have been approved. In response to commenters who were concerned about the lawsuit, DCS claimed via its Facebook page that it does not sue reviewers over product reviews. When Fisher's lawyers sent a complaint to DCS's lawyers, the language was slightly altered to claim that they don't sue over reviews that they view as genuine. Okay.
Wow. Where's the good news? Oh, right, that's next week, right? Because none of this is good news.
Do we have any? Gotta have something.
So basically, I don't know anything about Deep Cycle Systems batteries. I don't know anything about the company. I'd never heard of them before this. This is my first exposure to them. But what I can say for sure, based on this first exposure, is that they're assholes. So if you were considering anything from Deep Cycle Systems, then you should probably contact them, let them know you were considering their product and that you found out about this and you're not considering it anymore.
Woody Willa says, good news, Scrapyard Wars is amazing so far.
Hey, glad to hear that.
Let's go.
Bad news, part 2 is not coming on the original schedule. I reviewed the cut earlier this week, and basically maximum respect to the team. I mean, you guys saw the spit polish mirror shine that episode 1 had. Absolutely fantastic. They're doing a great job.
It's really good.
Part 2, not there yet. And so basically we went back to the sponsor. We're going back to you guys, and we're pretty much going to say, hey, yeah, we had a great plan for when it was going to come out, and that great plan is going to be later.
Difficult thing to edit.
Yep.
Take some time.
It's a ton of work. And like I said, absolutely no disrespect to the team that's working on it. They just need a little bit more time. So we're going to take a bit more time, and you guys are going to get it when you get it.
Sounds good.
And we are hoping that it's only going to be an extra 1 week. Since you looked at me, threw your arms in the air and said you're crazy. Sorry. It's only going to be an extra week.
Open exclusive V1? Probably not. I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not there. No.
I also don't really think there's value there. We'll give you the product that is good.
Yeah. And like you guys got your exclusives. Man, we've had a ton of people signing up for Floatplane. I think we've added over 1,000 since Scrapyard Wars went up, and they're definitely getting some value. The first extra is twice as long as the episode itself, and people are loving it. And then there's an entire dedicated extra for Elijah's haircut, which I haven't watched yet, but I am so excited.
The fact that they captured his wife's reaction. Oh yeah, people like that. The fact that they captured the fact that Elijah captured his own wife's reaction at the end of the video is amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. Let's see. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna. Oh wow, you guys really, really can't see it. Oh well, yeah. I'm not gonna spoil it.
It's pretty good.
lmg.gg/floatplane. Oh man.
He said he'd do something at 3K. I think he did, actually. But it's not there yet.
Oh, what did he say he'd do?
I don't remember. Eyebrow slit, I think.
What?
Eyebrow slit.
Oh, what?
I think he said he would do that.
Why?
If it did 3K, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's not there yet.
Oh, okay. I mean, do we have anything in our on-camera personality contracts where people have to stay somewhat presentable? Like, no, it's a valid question. Oh. It's a valid question.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because otherwise I'd be in trouble.
Yikes.
Oh, man. All right.
What, are we still on topic 2?
No, I think we're supposed to probably do merch messages or something at some point.
Yeah, why don't we do merch messages? Sure. And yeah.
All right, I'll explain what they are. The way to interact with the show is merch message. Man, what an awkward show so far today. We are... You know, it's funny. Like last week, I was like in my flow.
Why did we end it early last week?
The week before,
I've been meaning to ask you about this.
I was absolute garbage. And then this week, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. Last week, I was having fun, and I wanted to leave them wanting more. Yeah,
fair enough.
It was, it was late.
That's fair.
Yeah, merch messages. So the way to interact with the show is to send a merch message. It'll go to producer Dan. Right, I got to explain how you do it. That's producer. You know what? We'll get to producer Dan later. First, you go to LTTStore.com. You add something to your cart, and then in the checkout, you'll see a little box where you can leave a merch message. It'll pop up down here, or it'll. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Well, anyway, you can be anonymous, or you can leave your first name and last initial for a shout out. Hey, there you go. It'll look kind of something like that thing up there. It'll pop up like that, or it'll go to producer Dan, who will forward it to someone internally or reply to it himself, or who will curate it for me or Luke to respond to. So why don't we show them what a curated merch message looks like?
Sure. I got one here from Luke. Linus is a blonde nerd.
You did not, actually.
No. Okay. Yeah, sorry. How about a real one? Linus, what were your kids' reaction when they saw your new hair color?
Oh my goodness. I've been actually meaning to...
I saw one of them.
I've been...
There's easier ways to make your children cry, Linus.
Yeah,
it was rough,
I've been meaning to grab one of them from the security footage because it's really funny. My elder daughter goes, "I like your old hair better." Okay. It's basically the same thing she said when I shaved the beard.
Doesn't she ask you too, like how long until it goes back? And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. She asked me if I'm going to dye it back, and like, I don't know. Well, how long do you have to keep it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she
was not into it.
She's only around a decade, and she's already got all kinds of thoughts on her dad's style. So I guess we're headed into some pretty uncomfortable conversations as she makes it into her teenage years and figures out just how bad it is.
Okay, Linus, what are your thoughts on career progression from an SI that does retail exclusively? I assume that's a systems integrator?
So you work for a retail system integrator? Man, it's tough because I don't really know how to say this in a way that's not sort of mean, but building computers is like not a super valuable career skill. I would say that fixing them is a way to potentially make more money, but not at a retail chain or anything like that. Like they're not going to pay you anywhere near the rates that they're charging customers. And what it really boils down to is that if you want to escape that sort of wage ceiling in computer technician work, the only way to do it is to set out on your own and adopt an entrepreneurial spirit and try and tackle it that way. But that is not going to be easy.
Very hard. It's worded interestingly, though. Exclusively does retail stuff or something? Like, does this person own the SI?
That I don't know.
I can't really tell.
I doubt it. I don't see how you'd survive as a computer store that just does nothing but put together new computers.
Retail, yeah.
Corey, as the name says, system integrator makes putting standard components together sound way cooler than it is. Nowhere near as challenging as it once was. I do think that also is a little dismissive. I mean, I think that a really good eye-opener would be to check out our tour of Puget Systems from a number of years back. They show the kinds of processes and the kinds of tools that you need to develop in order to be a well-oiled machine, because it's more than just putting systems together. You have to support those systems. You have to ensure that you have to ensure that they make it to their destination in one piece. You have to have processes for compatibility testing, stability testing. You have to build relationships with vendors. You have to manage your credit and cash flow. Like you're running a business, right? It's not as simple as just buying computer parts and putting them together. If it was, everybody would do it. And that's sort of the bottom line, is you have to figure out what your personal value add is and try to extract as much of the money that you're generating as possible.
Some people in Floatplane Chat have said this, but getting into some level of enterprise IT is probably the closest related work, but it's not 100%. You'll need to train. But yeah,
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us one more, Dan.
Announcements. Let's see here. Have you heard DCS is suing an Aussie YouTuber? We just read that one. I missed that. Sorry. Hey, Linus, I've been a longtime viewer and finally pulled the trigger on the backpack. I'm currently working a sales job as a college student and wondered if you had any tips from your experience.
Oh, man. I mean, the biggest thing for me was that I was selling something that I was really passionate about. It's not really selling. It's more talking to people about stuff that you think is super cool and a shared interest. And as long as you can find a way to do that, if you are a super, gearhead, for example, and you can find a way to sell cars for a living, well, okay, that might be a little bit challenging, especially if most of the people coming in to buy a car are not going to be shopping for the kind of car that I think a typical, gearhead would be excited to talk about. But as long as you don't mind just sort of sharing knowledge and talking with people about cars or about cameras or about computers or whatever it is that you're passionate about, I'd say that's the best way to both enjoy what you're doing and succeed at what you're doing. There are going to be challenges. We got spiffs and we got guidance from HQ on what we were supposed to be pushing. And I got to tell you, I never even looked at it. I didn't bother reading any of that stuff. I didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever because the way that I saw it, I would just, do my thing and customers would be happy and they'd love it and they'd come back to me and that would kind of wipe out anything else. And in reality, that was probably pretty naive of me. What's more likely is that NCIX just wasn't organized enough to keep track of which sales reps were pushing what they're supposed to be pushing. And so they just never really noticed that I was only selling the stuff that I really wanted to sell. Apparently gearhead means something else other places. Okay, it would just mean like car enthusiast here. So I don't know what else it means.
Like steroids?
I have
Some
no
people
idea.
call steroids gear.
Yeah, Ethan Bez says, SUVs. Everyone's buying SUVs. Yay, so exciting. Yeah, exactly. Like I remember the outrage when Porsche stopped just doing sports cars, and all of a sudden they've got like the Macan and the Cayenne. And I think those are some of their top selling models now. And it's like, are they even an enthusiast brand anymore? Totally get it, but I don't know. You got to find the fun in like educating people. I remember taking my my aunt and uncle shopping, and one of the things that I was really hammering on was that I wanted them to get a plug-in hybrid. They do so much of their driving just like padding around in the city. They park in a garage, and they wanted an SUV. Sorry. They wanted an SUV, but they wanted something a little bit smaller than the Grand Cherokee they had before. And I was like, look, you guys, I know you don't have a ton of experience with them. I actually even forget exactly which one they got. I think it was, it's that Mitsubishi PHEV SUV. What's it called again? Yeah, the Outlander PHEV. So I took them to look at it, and I was like, look, you'll be able to do so many of your trips on battery. Just remember to plug this thing in when you go into your garage. And like no one at any of the dealerships they'd been to before I went with them had educated them on the advantage of this. Like people just didn't understand.
Plug-in hybrid is such a wasted thing. No one ever talks about it.
Well, they're starting to now.
Explain to people today that there's a difference between hybrid and plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, the name is really stupid.
It's bad.
I don't have a better name, to be honest with you. Like, I understand why the name is what it is, because depending on the design, a lot of them bear more similarity to a hybrid than they do to an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
But having it called something so similar, I think, is extremely confusing to people.
Wii U.
Yeah. It's amazing what a difference branding can make to people's understanding of it when they... And I think this is something that we ended up doing one more video about branding nonsense. Even though I didn't want to do any more like mad videos, but it was one that we had started work on a long time ago. And it's looking at NVIDIA's most recent transgressions. So I'd say that the 3050 6 gig is the most recent one. In fact, I think that's the last card they launched. So we look at the 3050 6 gig and we kind of go, okay, now hold on a second. This is clearly a completely different card. So while the community got their way with the 4080 12 gig, where they kind of went, hey, this is not a 4080. This is a completely different GPU, aside from having less memory. NVIDIA took all of that feedback, threw it in a fire, and immediately kept doing it. And then we go back through their history and we look at some other examples of NVIDIA's very deceptive branding. And I actually tell a personal story in the video about one time NVIDIA bamboozled me before I was knowledgeable enough to understand how to research this stuff and how to learn the differences between things. So in response to your question, find a way to get excited about educating people about something that you're knowledgeable about. And that's probably the best way to both have fun at work and succeed in your job.
I used to kill it at Best Buy.
Yeah, I bet.
And like you were saying, you would get pushed things like, oh, sell a bunch of this, sell a bunch of that. I always ignored it. But I used to go on trip, like when my mom would have to go buy something with Best Buy, I would ask to go with her just so I could walk around the store. So like working there, I was all excited because I could be around computers and stuff. We grew up mostly in the country. There wasn't a lot of this availability around. So a Best Buy existing within reasonable driving distance was like cool to have at all. And then the fact that I worked there, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So it was really easy to sell stuff because people would come in and want a laptop. Then I would just have a conversation with them about what they needed and like why I thought different solutions would be good or bad for them and give them a range of options. They pick one of them and then we go for it. And my customers are often really happy. And it was usually pretty easy. Like I wasn't really actually trying to push the sales, but I'd have conversations with them about what software do you need? And pretty often it was like, oh, I do work stuff. So I need like Word. And it's like, oh, well, bonk.
Here's Word. Get that spiff.
They want it anyways.
Get that spiff.
But they wanted it anyways.
Yep.
They would have left the store less equipped. So like I don't think I ever sold a single service plan thing except for when the customer asked for it. I would never push that ever because I didn't believe in it. Like at all. I never bought one ever myself. So like, well, I bought one technically, but then abused it. But anyways, that's a different story.
St. Wes 13 says, with a plug-in hybrid, aren't you taking on the issues of a gas vehicle and the issues of an EV in one package? But aren't you taking on the advantages of a gas vehicle and of an EV in one package? Yes, you are.
You're also going to have more problems with the ICE drivetrain. And if you're often driving within distance of your electric, which he was talking about in this specific scenario, then you're not running your ICE drivetrain as much. And
never running your ICE drivetrain is bad.
Yes.
But as long as you're running it regularly, it should be fine. Mavs guy says, and the Mitsubishi PHEV is arguably the worst of the bunch. Fair enough, but this was a few years ago. I don't think RAV4 Prime was even out yet. So it was a while back.
A hybrid can't have a spare tire, which sucks. It probably can. You just lose a lot of trunk space.
I mean, anything can have a spare tire if you're creative enough.
Yeah, you can put it in your passenger seat. Strap it in.
Luke car tips, everyone.
There's technically a solution to practically everything.
Yeah.
You just might not like it.
All right. Dan, what are we supposed to be doing right now?
Do you guys do announcements now? Do you do them later?
No one can penetrate the batteries in the case of a collision. Okay. See, there's still solutions. Just strap it to the outside like they do on Jeeps.
Yeah.
Strap the batteries to the outside?
The spare tire.
Explosive reactive armor?
I'm going to put a spare tire on the back of my car when we leave here immediately.
Nice.
Yep, back of the Taycan.
Good. Yeah. Yep. Good. You can put it like on the trunk like they do with those like off-road Porsches.
Yep. Yeah,
that would be sick.
Yeah.
My car,
see, like, it's a thing.
My car will no longer be a Taycan. It will be a Taycan. It will have new capabilities. That's what I always joke with my kids whenever it's like in the shop or disabled for some reason or
It's
another.
a Tycant right
Yeah,
now?
I'll tell them it's the Tycant. Okay, in fairness, it hasn't actually needed to be in the shop for a while, but I also did get this extremely terrifying warning when I was a few blocks from home the other day that has not popped up again, so I have not taken it into the shop. I haven't even Googled this yet because I forgot about it until now. Here, want to read this for us?
Chassis error. Continued driving possible with adjustment. See owner's manual.
What does that even mean? What is a chassis error? And then there's another one. Okay, second message. Chassis error. Visit workshop. Oh wait, is this the same one? Visit workshop. Oh yeah, no. Visit workshop. Continued driving possible with adjustment. Yeah. So maybe that's fine. Maybe it's not good.
I've got an SOS warning right now. SOS tele aid disabled. Drive to workshop.
What is SOS tele aid?
I have a giant button in the center console that I've never pushed. Scared. It's a giant red button under like a flip up hatch.
Yeah. It would be one of those like OnStar things or whatever.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job, Dan. All right. Should we jump into announcements?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, we've partnered up with DeltaHub to bring you guys this side. Oh, is that zoomed a lot less than usual, Dan?
Is it also tilted up?
Oh, from when we were dyeing the hair last week. Okay. We've partnered with DeltaHub to bring you a special LTT edition of their Carpio wrist rests. This one's for the right hand, and it pops up this way. And what makes it different from other wrist rests you might have tried is that it has PTFE Teflon feet, so it glides along your desk and moves with your hand, so your wrists are always supported wherever you are moving them. A bunch of folks here at the office have been using their Carpios, so this collab was a long time coming. All you've got to do is go to the notification sign-up page. It's at go.deltahub.io/ oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not going to try and read this whole thing, but I'm going to get Dan to post it in the chat. There you go. And you can sign up to be the first to know once these drop on August the 9th. Whoa. We've got another big announcement. The LTT Precision Screwdriver is near. You may have seen us tease it before, but it is finally dropping very soon. In fact, I have the first 100 units under the table right now, and you can get a chance to get one.
Do you
What are you looking for?
I didn't see them.
Well, yeah, no, I said I have them. I didn't say you have them. Why
But it's one table. Oh, he wasn't lying. Wow.
Here they are.
They're so small.
Well, yeah, they're precision screwdrivers, Luke. It's not a competition.
They're cute little boxes.
Anyway, the point is
They're so teeny.
that these are the first 100. We had these air shipped, and we're giving you an opportunity to purchase one before anyone else. We have a pop-up event coming soon, so there'll be an in-person opportunity. We'll give you details on that in the future. But for now, what you've got to do is you've got to join the LTT Precision mailing list by Monday. You can find that at lmg.gg/precision. Okay, so sign up for a notification before Monday, and you'll get a chance to buy one of these at an introductory price. So from everyone on the list, we're going to select 100 people to get early access to the screwdriver. And the price is going to be dictated by how long the cap will spin before stopping, which I was informed of shortly before the show started. There is that Comic Sans, Dan?
I only do everything in Comic Sans.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
All right. This product has been in development for good gravy. Yeah, I guess it's been almost 2 years now. Not only is it one of the best feeling precision screwdrivers with an aluminum body and internal bit storage in the handle. You can store up to 3 bits in there, but we've added a ceramic and steel ball bearing in the end cap that makes it one of the best spinning fidget toys ever. So, as a bonus, For every second that I can spin the end cap of the precision screwdriver, we're going to give each of those 100 people 10 cents off their precision screwdriver.
Oh.
10 cents per second? Okay. Well...
Okay, so the price goes down the longer you spin.
The longer I spin. So do I sandbag it so that I don't have to give as much of a discount?
No.
Or do I go ham?
You got to go hard.
To try to show off the fidget spinneriness of the product better?
Yep. You got to go hard.
Okay.
Give me a 3, 2, 1.
Even from a strictly business standpoint, this is just 100 units.
Yeah.
You got to show off the product.
Okay. All right.
You got to give
me
it
a countdown.
Worst case scenario, tax write-off.
Yeah.
I need a countdown, man.
Oh, what? Oh,
that was a good one,
Jeez.
too.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
all right. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Okay. So, I don't know. Luke, are you going to do a topic or something? Or like...
I can. Yeah. I don't know.
We're already giving them a... Wait, what is this?
Oh, no, it broke.
But we're already giving them $1 off?
Yeah, it's supposed to be $1.
Okay. We're already giving them $2 off.
Well, I've got a
Wait, this one
counter
didn't
here
spin
anyway.
very good. Hold on a second. That's not what I was expecting. Is this a pre-prod one? I'm going to open up a box.
I'm going to fix the script.
Hold on. I'm going to open up a box. I'm going to open up a box. Dan's going to fix the script.
Give me 2 seconds here.
What a terrible show.
I'm going to do a topic.
Who even watches this show?
Wow, the bare minimum. Thanks. Sorry.
Thousands of devices are all using the same key. Over 200 different device models sold by Acer, Dell, HP, Gigabyte, Intel, and Supermicro have had their secure boot protection compromised. According to security researchers at Binarly, several OEMs have been replacing the secure boot master key generated by the BIOS vendor, meaning that all 215 device models have the same master key.
Yeah, this is really bad. It's all bad news this week.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Further, that cryptographic key was published in a public GitHub repository in December of 2022 and protected by only a 4-character password?
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Everything is trash. By the way, I can hear that in your mic.
Oh. All right, I'll stop doing that.
Literally fidget spinning.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, are you ready?
Let me see. Maybe. If not,
Okay.
we'll just do a normal counter.
We're just going to roll with it. Okay. In the meantime, Luke, you can keep telling us about our topic. Okay, 3.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Dan, it doesn't matter. You should have just left the old one. We could just do the math.
Fine.
Okay. Ready?
And grip.
3. Wait. Well, you
It'll
gotta
reset
it.
It'll reset.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
You want me to do a new topic? Another topic? That was all
Dude,
for
you
that
started it so late.
Yeah, I missed.
What is wrong with us?
It's just not giving me enough time.
I mean, we work together every week.
What is happening? This was working fine before the show started. Anyway,
Wait, did you start it over?
No, it just automatically
What do you
resets.
mean it automatically resets?
I'm gonna lose it.
Dan!
I'm just trying to give these people money off. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you made it worse.
I know.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
The IOC has voted unanimously to
doing a
hold
countdown.
an official Olympics
Stupid.
esports competition in 2025 in Saudi Arabia. As both the Winter and Summer Olympics are only held on evenly numbered years, this means it will be its own independent event. We already know some of the games that will be involved, and those include League of Legends, Rocket League, Street Fighter, Tekken, iRacing, NBA 2K, and FIFA. Again, that is some of the games, not all of them. Where the heck is StarCraft? Anyways, moving forward.
StarCraft?
What?
Come on.
Dude, it's so competitive.
What's the cultural relevance of StarCraft
There's like
today?
40 people in Korea that are going hard.
When's the
Okay?
last time they released a game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
League of Legends is in here. League of Legends is from like 2008.
Yeah, but people play it.
There's 40 Koreans that play StarCraft.
Oh.
I would still like to watch it. It's a very fun game to spectate. Anyways, several popular esports titles are notably absent as the IOC has excluded all first-person shooters as too violent. Oh.
Yeah.
However, at a prior Olympics esports week, a shooting competition created inside Fortnite's creative mode was included.
Yeah, the previous like Olympic esports thing was absolute memes. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It was garbage.
So stupid.
It was like one of the dumbest things ever.
So this is something at least.
I guess. I do
Okay.
like that Rocket League's there. Rocket League deserves more.
Okay, we're trying again. Ready, Dan?
I actually am this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll stop that. Just make sure that does work. Okay, ready?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to spin it as hard as I can.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay.
It sounds like it's going fast.
I think it's going. That's $1. Did the HVAC just kick in, or is this sounding really weird?
HVAC
kicked in.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, you're fine.
$2. Did we ever actually tell them what the pricing is before the discount?
I don't think so.
Cool. I don't know if we've announced pricing yet. $3 off. $3.50. Still going. $4. Oh, I would have been so happy it was $4.20. $4.50.
Still going.
Still going. And stop. Okay.
48.
You're going to get $4.80 off. So I'm going to put this back in the box.
So it spun for 48 seconds. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Certified fidget toy. Put it away.
Oh, he saw me.
Stop playing with it. No, I can hear it. I can hear it every time you spin it.
It's fun. I'm going to drive Emma nuts.
The last thing is don't forget to sign up for a notification for the LTT Modmat $59.99 coming soon. I saw the payment go out a little while ago, so it's very much coming. Everyone tells you to use a safe anti-static work surface, but we looked at the price and quality of the options that are available on the market, and we felt PC builders and makers were being asked to compromise between building a better PC and having a safe place to build it. So that's why we created the Modmat in collaboration with ModRite, the creators of the original and patented Modmat, for just $59.99. We've got the latest version of the graphics here now. No, this is not the latest version. The radiator guide has been updated a little bit to look a little bit more like a radiator. There's a few other little tweaks. This is a fairly up-to-date version. Super excited about it, though. So don't forget to sign up for that as well. All right. What do you want to talk about? What are we supposed to do, Dan? You just tell us what to do, and we'll do it.
Sure, more topics.
We're going to do it. More topics? Okay.
LTT is AI now?
Sure.
More great news. According to a leaked spreadsheet released by 404 Media, AI video generator Runway was likely trained on a large amount of popular content, such as YouTube channels, including LTT, Pixar, and AMC theaters, and multiple Disney-run channels. The document appears to be a curated list of recommended media for scraping compiled by several Runway employees. Yikes. The company appears to have been looking for certain kinds of content and video work. LTT was linked to the key phrase, using a laptop. That makes sense, I guess. While there was also a spreadsheet labeled cinematic masterpieces that included individual channels and videos with particularly high production values, including student films. It's unclear if the company actually scraped pirated content, but the links to piracy sites are included in the document.
Nice.
This has been a thing for a long time.
Nice.
in early model training stuff, to be clear. 404 Media found that while the Runway video generator wouldn't create exact recreations of real people, it produced results that were very reminiscent of some YouTube personalities' video styles when their name was included? Either way. Shortly after 404 asked Runway for a comment, their video generator stopped producing these results. Convenient. A former employee claims that Runway used open source software with a proxy configuration to avoid being blocked by YouTube while they scraped the videos. This is standard practice for scraping, to be clear.
Why would you know that? Why do you know that, Luke? Can you explain why you know that, please, Luke?
When reached for a comment, a representative from Google reiterated its stance that a company training its AI on YouTube videos without permission would violate YouTube's TOS.
I know that this is going to be a controversial take, but yeah.
As in, you're not surprised?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, me neither. This has been genuinely happening since like the beginning of this AI scraping stuff. I'm pretty sure we talked on the WAN show about how much pirated content was being used to train models like a year ago. People are saying, Luke, why? I didn't do it for this reason. Relax. Yeah, I heard something. I can't find it right now. I heard something about Cloudflare doing something, some anti-scraping thing, but Cloudflare bot management is designed to block content scraping attacks. Yeah, so I think they're working on that, which is cool. It's always an arms race.
I know that there are creators out there who are very upset about this, and maybe part of it is that I've just come to terms with it over a longer period of time. Like, I'm not surprised by it. It's still not good. It's still, illegal. But the reality of it is that it was never going to be any way other than this. Once you upload something to the internet, the expectation that
if it appears on someone else's screen, they can have it.
Yes. Yeah, it's like sending nudes via Snap, and then being like,
"Oh, but auto delete."
But I thought it was going to disappear. But you're not allowed to do that with it. You're not allowed to keep that. Say it again.
If it appears on someone else's screen, they can have it. It's just how it works. You'll never stop it because, maybe they'll lose some of the quality, but they could just point a video camera at their screen.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. They'll lose some quality, but they'll still do it. They used to have early movie rips at one point in time were just people holding video cameras in theaters.
Yeah.
And people would download those.
The video quality got to the point where it was pretty good.
It was hard to tell.
It was the audio that was the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the cameras were like on a tripod, it was fine. But a lot of the time, like, it'd be on a camcorder.
Yeah.
And so the worst ones, not that I know,
saying that they still do it.
Not that I know anything about this, but the worst ones, I would imagine, were the ones where they had especially like a stereo microphone on the camera. Like, how some camcorders would have stereo microphones.
Hear the person filming
and there'd be someone, there'd be someone like off to the right that was like eating popcorn the whole time or whatever.
Did we say the price of the screwdriver?
I don't remember what it is. That's why I haven't acknowledged it. Okay. I don't know.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone will.
I don't know. I think you can be annoyed about it, but I think letting it like consume you is not the right way to go.
Yeah.
Companies are going to work on anti-scraping stuff.
And like, realistically, okay, I upload this content to YouTube, or I upload my post to Reddit or whatever. It's like, okay, so some VC funded asshole is benefiting from this, and it's not the VC funded asshole that I intended.
Yeah.
And it's not that simple.
I want my VC funded asshole to have all of it.
Yeah, like which billionaire are we rooting for? Unless it's a fight to the death, I'm afraid I just can't get that invested.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not that simple, right? Like, obviously Google at least split some of the revenue back to the creators, and that is really different than, like, what were these guys valued at? These Runway guys who I never used their service. I might have heard of them once before, but it was like billions of dollars or something. Yeah, billions of dollars. They generate like zero revenue as far as I can tell. I'm sure they generate some revenue.
Oh, okay. They were trying to raise $450 million at about a $4 billion valuation.
Yeah,
that doesn't technically mean they're worth that much.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's like these guys are, worth whatever, but they're not sharing any of that money. It's not even real money. It's all just like paper VC money, right? So I'm just looking at it going, yeah, and none of this surprises me, and I just don't think anything is going to change that much. Michael McChesney in Floatplane Chat says the cam version of Avengers Endgame was actually awesome because it had all the audience reaction to cool stuff like Steve picking up Thor's hammer and stuff.
That's pretty funny.
That's actually really...
That's kind of neat.
That's pretty cool. It's like...
theater experience.
It's like watching with friends, but you don't need any friends.
It's very convenient for you.
Yeah. Honestly, though. Dude, I haven't watched a movie in the theater room since I got back from my last trip.
Oh, in the theater room.
Yeah, so it's been like weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's actually surprising.
Yeah, I wish I found more time to use it. With that said, it's summer, and without even thinking about it, our family has kind of a seasonality to our activities. I was kind of toward the end of the winter, I was kind of feeling like, man, we just default to playing video games and like watching movies all the time.
We should get out more. And then
we should get out more. And then summer came out, and I'm like, why do I even have a theater room? We never use the bloody thing. So it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Yeah.
I genuinely, I'm sure there's something that I did in between then, but the last time I really remember going to the theater was the last time you and I went to a Star Wars movie.
Dude, that was a minute ago.
I just stopped caring. No, that's not true. It was also with you though. And
Kingsman.
I'm 99% sure this was actually the last time. No, we went to go watch Barbie.
Oh yeah, Barbie was sick though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Before that was probably Kingsman.
Was probably
before
Kingsman
that was probably
3.
Star Wars.
Man,
I haven't been that into
Kingsman 3 sucked.
movies in a while.
Yeah.
I used to go to movie theater pretty often in like the low 20s.
Well, you and everyone. Theater industry is struggling hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
A lot of stuff releasing, and I'm just not that interested.
LMusics96 in Floatplane chat goes, I used to cam LTT content just because I missed the 2000s. Okay, dude, what the is going on? I already knew about the trend where Zoomers are buying like retro digital cameras, right? Like, you know how millennials got into film cameras because they were retro and like Polaroids?
Bad digital cameras.
So Zoomers are buying like crappy digital cameras.
Dude, I hope they bring back...
No. This gets so much worse. Okay? They're buying like crappy digital cameras for the aesthetic. Mm-hmm. The idea of spending money on this, it gives me physical pain. We did Colin's AMD Ultimate Tech upgrade, and we didn't even make it to the computer before I just about had my eyes roll out of my sockets by one of his purchases. Okay, he bought a little video input box that has a little screen on it, has a little battery on it, and a micro SD slot that plugs into the output, the analog output of like a crappy tape camcorder. See, I broke his brain. People are they're acquiring like old tape camcorders, and then they're getting these micro SD recording boxes so that they can get that behind the scenes early 2000s skate video.
I was going to say
aesthetic.
I hope they bring back fisheye lens skate videos, because those were sick. I was looking through the like peephole on my door the other day, and I got nostalgic for old fisheye lens skate videos. I was like, yeah.
All right. Anyway,
that's when things were cool.
Oh man, tape camcorders are brat, says
nice.
East of Easton.
You know, I embrace it. Do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want.
Get some. Yeah, somebody mentioned Super 8s. Get some Super 8s. Why not?
Why you got to spend poor AMD's money on that?
How much was it? Like, how much are these old camcorders going for?
I have no idea.
Because I can't imagine there's actually, honestly, even that many that are like in good condition still. Like getting a good quality one in good condition is probably pretty hard.
I swear, every single time I try to open up Facebook, it asks me to log in again. It used to be one of the least annoying services.
It's probably good. You shouldn't be logged in that computer.
Is that because people keep logging me out?
I actually don't know.
I blame you people.
Good job.
When in doubt, blame you people.
Yep.
Enter zip code. What do you mean zip code? You must know approximately.
Speaking of blaming you people, I'm going to give Dan some credit here.
What did I do?
Are we blaming him?
No, one of the first things I tasked Dan with when we started working together was to fix the WAN show. I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, in like a super long time.
Yeah, isn't that nice? I don't freak out the entire show anymore.
Yeah, I realized, like, I don't even remember when, but I was like, remember when that was like a problem?
Yeah, it used to be really stressful.
It sucked.
I refinished the table today.
Oh yeah.
sort of.
I did my best.
Attempts were made.
You should have seen it before.
Yeah, did you see the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dye bottle or the bleach bottle like foamed and overflowed and wrecked the finish on the table. Yeah, I bet you guys didn't even notice though, especially because my water bottle's there.
No, they'll be able to unsee
There you
it.
go. Yeah,
I
exactly.
Sanded it, stained it, and oiled the table.
Oh,
It needs filling.
probably would have said, don't bother doing that.
It was really obvious, like extremely bad.
Yeah, but I would have just done this.
That's cheating.
No, it's fine. Ugh, okay, well, anyway, here's what camcorders are worth. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
I was talking to.
Wait, that's
Mark.
actually a Super 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoa, I was joking.
Oh yeah, no, these are like apparently worth money, at least if they work. Ah.
Based.
I was talking to Mark, and he's convinced me that I think we should go in for the purchase of a CRT camera. You know that old media, if you've ever seen Acura or something like that, where the bikes are going past the screen and their lights have giant trails behind them?
Yeah.
That's a real camera that can do that, and it's a CRT tube camera, which is kind of insane. I think those should be
What
what
would we
everybody's
use
buying.
it for?
Nothing.
No, not for you.
Oh.
Just for personal use.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys enjoy that. I just
Well, then do whatever you'd like.
Yeah. You can do whatever you like. No. It's the children who are wrong. Honestly. No, it's the children who are wrong.
I don't think
you
so.
know what's
I think it's
messing me
cool.
up? CDs are in vogue.
Right? What is up with that?
That's
Cassettes, vinyl, fine.
Great.
CDs,
No, it's good.
it's just a light. It's just an MP3 with extra steps.
It's great.
It's Spotify, but you have to store it somewhere.
No, it's good.
Unbelievable that CDs are trendy.
Imagine we came back
I
to consoles
can't.
with cartridges.
I can't.
That'd be so sick.
Dude, the Switch still exists.
Oh,
It's like,
right.
I'm not even dead yet.
Yeah. I've been using it a long time.
Laserdisc. Let's bring back Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
I bought a friend Laserdisc for his birthday, actually.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right. People be like, CDs actually sound so much better than streaming. I mean, yeah, if you don't, you could, but you can stream FLACs, like you can stream high quality files. You don't have to stream the lowest quality thing. And realistically, you're probably listening to it on your AirPods anyway. So I don't know. Okay. If you're talking about the better quality of CD recordings, then yeah, you're probably not. But still, all right. What else is there to talk about?
We're done that one.
Oh, man.
We're done that one.
We could talk about the Canadians getting caught spying with drones.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So a coach for the Canadian women's soccer team has been suspended following an accusation from the New Zealand team that the Canadian side used drones to spy on 2 of their practice sessions. Notably, the Canadian women's team is the defending gold medalist and ranked 8th in the world, while the New Zealand team is ranked 28th. It's like, really? Media reports have surfaced also that the team might have used similar tactics at previous tournaments, including the last Olympics, which has the potential to affect their past title. Now, Canada Soccer head Kevin Blue says that the Canadian men's team also attempted to use a drone to gather information during their recent Copa America tournament in the US. Their coach, Jesse Marsh, has denounced the practice, as has John Herdman, who coached the women's team from 2011 to 2018 and the men's team from 2018 to 2023. Christine Sinclair, who was the team captain in 2020, denies that players had knowledge of this spying. The optics are terrible.
Yeah.
For this, and the evidence is
Probably not on the drones, though.
Got it.
The evidence is non-zero, and I think that this raises a ton of questions about fairness in sport and how technology is changing it.
That shouldn't be allowed.
Because they got caught.
Which means there's others doing it almost certainly.
Which means there's others doing
Especially
it
with
almost
how
certainly.
long they've been doing it.
And one of the people that was interviewed about this and talking about like how uncomfortable it made them that they were being asked to record this, but feared retribution and didn't want to speak out or whatever, was talking about how they don't always use a drone. Like if they know where the team's going to be practicing, they can just like get a hotel room. So just because there wasn't a drone flying over your practice doesn't mean that a competitor wasn't watching it.
Considering it said that the coach had denounced the practice, like the way that's worded, this sounds like it's like a huge deal.
That's a different coach. So head coach Kevin
but saying that, what I'm saying is the way that that's worded, it sounds like this is more of a global thing. I'm sure other teams are probably also doing it as well.
I don't know, and I don't want to deflect. The ones who were caught
fair enough.
were the Canadians.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
that's
really
simple.
In that context.
And I don't know, man. So they beat New Zealand in their match already. Are we just gonna?
Yeah. What do we do?
Yeah. What do we do with this?
So
and it's not like
this
the
100%
evidence,
confirmed?
Dude. French authorities got the drone.
Oh.
They caught a Canadian soccer. I think they were an associate coach or something. I forget exactly who it was, but they caught someone affiliated with Canadian soccer retrieving the drone and found footage of not just that practice, but another one. So it was not like, oh yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll do this one time. No, this was an effort that was made. Not cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you get caught cheating, you should get tons of crap for it.
Yeah, and the coaches were sent home. Man,
rough for the team.
Will we ever have an Olympics that isn't just full of scandal?
No.
Man, do you see
anything with that level of competition? You
see the dressage athlete? I don't know. I've never really understood that as a sport the way that some other sports are
dressage?
Sports. Yeah, it's like competitive, making a horse contort its body into weird positions while you ride around on it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have not.
Speaking of the WAN Show doing really good, apparently it's down. So we'll get that sorted out.
Of course, when Dan's gone.
Pretty soon, yeah, that figures. Anyway, why don't we jump into our next topic here? Which is... Oh!
How's the LTT screwdriver holding up?
The first college sports game in 11 years. I'm actually kind of happy about this one. After launching last Friday, EA's College Football 25 is already looking to be one of the biggest games of the year, having sold over 2.2 million pre-order copies. This is the first game in the series in over a decade after the last game, NCAA Football 15, was canceled during development. A major factor in the hiatus was a high-profile lawsuit by former NCAA players that the series had used thousands of student athletes' likeness without payment or permission. All of which is really bad. But, hold on, we'll get to that soon. So the National Collegiate Athletics Association had strict requirements preventing student athletes from making money from sponsorships or leasing their likenesses, which is terrible because it wanted them to be seen as amateurs, which would shield universities from needing to pay them or compensate them in case of injury. Also terrible. EA wanted an exception to these rules, but when the NCAA refused, the game company proceeded to use the likenesses with the names of the athletes removed. The suit was settled with EA paying $40 million and the NCAA paying $20 million in damages. So basically, it was a competition of who can find the best gaps in the rules to exploit student athletes and keep as much of the reward for themselves as possible.
This is pretty normal.
But in May of this year, the NCAA reached a legal settlement that allows student athletes to be paid. Freaking finally.
It's very good.
Paid for their work. EA jumped into action and contacted around 11,000 student athletes, over 10,000 of which have agreed to have their likeness in the new game. Over the course of 3 months, the company used cutting-edge AI projection software to create 3D avatars of each of those players, who will be compensated though. Okay, so someone's getting paid even if it's not the artists. Mm-hmm. And have the opportunity to make more money by promoting the game. EA has also promised to prevent users from adding players who didn't agree to be included, which, cool. As someone who's generally pro-modding, though, I am mixed on.
I'm not mixed on it. If you can add in other made-up players, sure.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said specifically AI players that didn't agree to be included.
I know, but if as a modder I can add in a made-up player, then I can add in a made-up player who is a real player.
Sure.
Right? Okay. So I'm just saying, if EA specifically puts in countermeasures against adding, my own modded players. No, I'm generally not that chill with that.
Yeah, I agree. But the way it's worded, it sounds like they're probably making it so you can't like name custom players after people that don't want to be included, stuff like that.
I kind of like that approach.
I like that. That's how I read this. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen.
Create any likeness you want and import it into the game, but you can't just make them that player.
Yeah.
So our discussion question, isn't this ideally how these kinds of rights disputes should work? I mean, it shouldn't take 10 years. This problem shouldn't have existed in the first place. The way that student athletes are exploited is deplorable. It's disgusting. But hey, I'm not going to, everyone who participated in this basically sucks. However, I'm not going to knock progress. And this feels like progress to me. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
Rivian says no to Apple CarPlay.
Based.
Really?
No, I don't care. I just knew you'd react that way.
Dude, no, I strongly disagree. I hate it. Their CEO says that Rivian will not be adding CarPlay to their vehicles. As rationale, they explained that CarPlay reflects Apple's ethos of a controlled ecosystem and wouldn't be consistent with the rest of the infotainment system. In particular, it would require drivers to exit out of the app before they could access other important features like opening the vehicle's front trunk. Rivian will, however, be integrating many features offered by CarPlay into its own system. Our discussion question here is, why doesn't the trunk have its own button? That is the real question here, is why I need to use the screen to do that in the first place.
Big agree.
No, my screen in my car should absolutely allow me to use Android Auto or CarPlay, or, and don't quote me on this, but I remember having a conversation with someone where they basically were like, yeah, I don't think anything would really prevent you from doing a PIP, like running CarPlay or Android Auto in a window and maintaining some interface around it. Not having Android Auto or CarPlay is not anything that anyone says. It's because they want to have the data instead of giving it to Google or
Almost
Apple.
Certainly, yeah.
And fair enough. Just understand that I will never buy your car because I am not interested, especially seeing what just happened with Fisker. And Rivian is by no means immune to the same fate as Fisker. They seem to be doing a lot better. They seem like they're going to make it. So I'm not saying Rivian's, going bad or anything like that. I'm just saying they're absolutely not immune to disappearing at some point in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Doesn't matter. I want my infotainment system to be just plug in and run whatever updated device that I'm running at that time. I do not want to be locked into and beholden to your software updates. Not cool, and I will just never buy a Rivian ever. And good for you, I guess. Not
Marquez
that you really
apparently
need my money.
has a poll on that website called X. Would you consider buying a car that does not have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay? And almost 60% of people said no, with almost 200,000 votes.
So there you go. You have just locked yourself out of 57.6% of the market. Good job. If I was an investor in Rivian, and obviously this is an imperfect poll and, sampling and blah, 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 blah. But I would say if there was a demo that overlapped more perfectly with Rivian's potential customer base than Marquez's, show me one. Show it to me.
Yeah, really.
Right? Like these are tech interested people, EV interested people. I assume they have a lot of interests that align with Mr. Marquez Brownlee himself. I'm sorry, I just don't really buy it.
Dan, did you make that poll?
Yes.
It's too softly worded.
What's our poll?
Car with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Yes, it should have it, or nah, I'm okay without it.
Okay, I don't even see the results, but that's fine.
It's even more strong. Yes, it should have it is like 75%, but it's not like I refuse to buy a car without it.
And the thing is that I'm not even saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that I want to have to use it. There are things that I prefer, like by a long shot, about Tesla's interface. The fact that my nanny stupid Android Auto won't let me input text while I'm moving drives me absolutely bananas. In a lot of cases, it is far more distracting to try to vocalize an address, for example, versus just typing like 2 numbers in and then having it autocomplete for me and going. Tesla, just vastly superior in that way. What?
Just don't worry about it.
I'm asking the real questions here, Luke.
Should Rivian have Firefox on their infotainment system? Really,
I mean,
you guys?
77% of people so far are saying yes.
This is what Flipplane is here for.
Yeah.
All right.
Every user on Flipplane uses Firefox. 78% now.
And you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's official.
I do use Firefox now for
I have
personal
more
stuff.
good news. Intel has a plan.
Do they?
They say, again, they have discovered the cause of the widespread instability issues affecting their high-end 13th and 14th gen CPUs, or I should say especially high-end, an issue with the microcode algorithm that caused the CPU to request elevated operating voltage beyond safe levels. The company says they will deliver a patch addressing the problem in August. This will not repair processors that are already crashing due to past damage, but it should prevent further damage on processors that are not. Intel has pledged to replace CPUs for all affected users. It is not yet clear whether some CPUs have suffered invisible damage that may cause them to fail prematurely in the future. Beyond Intel, there's more bad news in CPU land. AMD has delayed the launch of their Ryzen 9000 series CPUs from the end of July to mid-August after they found some kind of flaw in the first batch of chips during final checks. Although I say bad news because it's like bad news for AMD's bottom line, but it's actually good news. The fact that these didn't make it to customers means that the reputational damage is just, oh yeah, AMD, bunged up delayed their launch, compared to AMD shipped broken products to their customers.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how Ryzen 9000 shakes up. We haven't tested it yet, obviously, because nobody has working chips, then nobody can test it. But based on AMD's claims, looks like it's going to be pretty good. And being able to just put it in as a drop-in replacement for Ryzen 7000 is pretty exciting. I don't have an X3D chip, so I'm kind of eyeing it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luke. Good contribution. Sorry. Yeah. Do you want to tell the story about why you're talking less today?
I can. Yeah.
All right. So once upon a time, Linus never let Luke talk on WAN Show, and whenever Luke tried, Linus immediately started talking again anyway. Yeah. And basically, what's the point of even Luke being here? None of us are sure. Sorry,
but I've just been here the whole time, so just no one really wants to change it.
Yeah, it's like that picture. It's like that magnet on the fridge. Like no one even remembers who put it there anymore. It has no significance at all.
But everyone will put it back because it's like just supposed to be
there.
Yeah,
if it falls down, you always put it back there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had dental work done recently, and it didn't like heal fully properly. So
dental, damn.
My
I shouldn't be making him smile. It's actually really mean. He's in a lot of pain. I'm sorry, Luke.
So my gums and my jaw were like inflamed, not infected, just inflamed and swollen. But as I've talked about on WAN Show before, I have weird eustachian tubes or whatever they're called. The swelling of that caused my ear to kind of crush a little bit, I guess. I don't know. And then I went swimming after last WAN Show. This is the theory. This is the theory that the doctor has, not me, but it makes a lot of sense. I went swimming and maybe some of the pool water had a hard time getting out. So then I developed an ear infection because of that. I went to my dentist because I thought that made sense because I had this pain in my jaw and I was like, maybe that's causing the pain in the ear. And the dentist was like, yeah, that's probably what's happening. So just like, here's a little manual squishy water thing and like clean your teeth out after you eat stuff and they'll just keep the area really clear for a while and it'll heal up. So I thought all the pain I was feeling in my ear this whole time was because of the tooth stuff. So I've had an untreated ear infection for a week and just been in pain constantly the entire week. And I went to the doctor today to get like a second opinion. And he was like, oh yeah,
nice.
Your ear is not doing great. So now I'm on antibiotics and some other stuff is going on. I have ear drops and all this kind of stuff. But that started today. So The pain kind of comes in waves. So right now we started the show low. Right now it's kind of high, and I suspect it'll go back down pretty soon. And that's just how it's been going this whole time. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I was supposed to fly to Wisconsin tomorrow. I am no longer doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening. Because it's
Goodbye,
already
Wisconsin.
a problem for me. Like even when I don't have an ear infection, my ears popping, coming up and down is like already an issue.
Right.
So like now it's like the doctor was like, yeah, no, you might rupture your eardrum. You're not flying. I was like, okay.
Well, it's a good thing you checked.
Yes.
Because that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And like last I checked, when you're like, at 40,000 feet or whatever it is, immediate medical care, not really,
not awesome.
not really an option.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
Yikes.
unfortunate. I don't think I can say on the show what I was going to go do there because it would be a spoiler for somebody else, but it was going to be cool, and I'm sad it's not happening now.
That's a bummer.
But it's all right.
I'm just collapsing topics we've already done.
Yeah. It's like pretty much everything. We have the screwdriver thing, and we have the companies using Copilot.
I want to do the Copilot one.
All right.
Corporate early adopters of Microsoft's Copilot AI assistant say they're still struggling to integrate it into their workflow. One widespread issue is that it needs to be fed lots of data in order to work effectively. But if the wrong information is included, that can make it a target for hacking. It can also wind up being a backdoor for employees to spy on their coworkers or projects elsewhere in the company, unless its users are willing to extensively rework backend labeling and permissions for this information.
Yikes.
That
I never
makes
thought
sense.
about that, actually.
Yeah, like if we dumped the contents of our server into a large language model, it would be a disaster.
You'd be able to ask it about things, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Of course.
Copilot apparently does well when summarizing and distilling information, but struggles to understand the context of certain requests. It can handle commands that only involve one app, but struggles when dealing with multiple apps, though these companies report better results when employees are specifically trained how to use Copilot. I thought that was the whole idea behind AI assistants. Behind digital assistants in the first place, was that it was supposed to be natural interaction.
I've resisted rollouts in the company that don't involve people that are going to spend a decently significant amount of time learning how to use it properly. Because of this type of stuff. I thought this was going to talk about a previous report that came out of Microsoft that's actually super interesting. They released like some form of like research document on early adoption to Copilot in businesses. And they talked very transparently actually about how it was in a lot of cases bad. They're like, yeah, people's output is higher, but their quality of output is lower and their total errors is higher because they're just submitting AI work and not properly checking it. And the whole thing with AI work is you need to read through it because it looks convincing, but it can just pull information out of nowhere that literally doesn't exist and make stuff up. So it can be a problem. So you want to be careful using it in different realms. And
you know what else you should use? Our sponsor. What'd you have for breakfast this morning? If you answered bagel bites and chocolate milk, I have some bad news for you. That's probably not a well-balanced breakfast. What am I even looking at? But our sponsor, AG1, can help fill in some of your nutritional blind spots in just one scoop. As a matter of fact, some members of our team have included it in their daily routine, like Maria, our thumbnail artist, who said she thinks it tastes a bit like a pina colada. Maria, I'm not going to take restaurant recommendations from her, but still, if she likes it, she likes it. Anyway, the point is, it's made up of ingredients like apple, beetroot, cocoa beans, and more, and is backed by multiple third-party research studies on the whole formula rather than just cherry-picked ingredients. All are placebo-controlled and, according to AG1, done in double-blind environments. The results can be found right on their website. So try out AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/WAN Show. The show is also brought to you by Squarespace. You can look different on different occasions, but you always want to look professional for your business.
Amazing.
Our sponsor, Squarespace, is basically like a makeup artist for your online presence. Hopefully they don't make you look like that, but that's okay. They make your business look professionally polished so you can close that sweet deal. And building a website is easy with Squarespace. You can literally just drag and drop the designs with Squarespace Blueprint AI. You can find a theme that matches your taste, add your product info, and you're done. No coding necessary. The new Squarespace Design Intelligence feature helps you with your brand identity, product descriptions, emails, and onboarding for your new website. And most importantly, your customers have the flexibility to pay you through PayPal and even Apple Pay. As I'm sure you've heard, we use Squarespace for our website too, so there's no time wasted around here Googling, why is my website broken? Because Squarespace's team is always there to help us. So start by building your website today and get 10% off your first purchase by visiting squarespace.com/WAN. Finally, the show is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Instead of spending your money to see me die on camera, we have a smarter way to spend your money with our sponsor, Green Man Gaming. Their summer sale starts July 26th and goes until August 2nd with over 3,500 titles discounted. Want to fill your crime enterprise dreams? Fulfill, I guess. Like a Dragon Legendary Hero Edition is 82% off. Feeling more like a disheveled detective? Disco Elysium, the final cut, is 75% off. I really need to play this. I might actually just buy this after the show. Have you always wanted to have a big yellow head? Like me. You can save 60% off of a copy of SpongeBob SquarePants, The Cosmic Shake. Plus, there's so much more from publishers like 2K, Sony, and Square Enix. Green Man Gaming is an official PC games retailer, and they work directly with over 1,300 publishers and developers, ensuring that all the keys they offer are the real deal, and you will be supporting the creators. Plus, you can get an additional 15% off with code SUMMER15, which we will have linked in the video description. Okay, that's pretty cool. I am going to go buy Disco Elysium after. I'm going to play it. Finally going to play it. What? Do you not like Disco Elysium, Dan?
No, I do. I have other thoughts on it. We'll talk after the show. Bye.
Oh.
Intriguing.
Is it controversial?
Something with the publisher. Or I can't exactly remember. The game is absolutely amazing, but the creators of it aren't getting paid.
Oh.
Is it publisher related? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, I will. Okay. Merch messages.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting paid.
Yes.
Hey, transition.
Wait, are we?
It's after dark.
Wait.
No.
Isn't there one more topic?
We're gonna do some merch messages.
Isn't there one more topic?
But yeah, Disco Elysium is awesome. You should go play it.
But I should pirate it.
Linux ISOs. Download it for Linux.
Okay.
Luke, what is your take on so many bugs making it into production products lately? The CrowdStrike outage, secure boot exploits. It seems like nobody wants to validate before deployment anymore.
Are we supposed to be after dark right now, Dan?
No.
Oh.
We're still in the middle of the show.
When you're promoting moving as fast as possible, more things are going to break. I don't know. There's been bugs shipped in code for all eternity, and there will be more moving forward. I think people's expectations of levels of polish have practically always gone up. The CrowdStrike thing, I mean, if you look into I don't know, do I want to go down this? If you look into the history of the CEO, he was the head of another antivirus company when there was another massive global crazy issue. So maybe there's some attachment there. I'm not sitting here trying to project that this person writes all the code and pushes all the code and makes those types of decisions, but it could be a situation where they're pushing for speed, maybe a little bit too much, and those types of issues are able to slip through. I'm not sure, but those types of environments can cater to that type of problem. Companies used to QA before releasing software in games. Yeah, they still do. I don't think it's fair to say that they don't anymore, and I don't think it's fair to say that they actually really did in the past. There's lots of cartridge games that released that were literally impossible to complete.
I'm so far ahead of you. I'm so ready.
What?
Final Fantasy VI has a very famous bug. The evade stat on the SNES version does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It just your evade stat can be higher, it can be lower. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. how something like that would have made it into a finished game.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's mind-boggling until you consider that software is buggy and people are human and bugs exist, and there was no way to patch it once they started shipping cartridges. That's it. See you later.
I do think patching things these days is more convenient, so people have put less intention and less value into pre-testing.
I wasn't done.
Oh, okay.
Because we all need an update on whether you're ever going to finish playing that bloody game.
Yes, I am. I actually have a very convenient excuse this weekend.
Really?
Because I was supposed to be out of the country, and now I won't be. So maybe I'll play it now.
Oh, you mean an excuse to play it as opposed to an excuse to not play it? Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to ask you next week, and you're going to be like, yeah, I was going to play it on the plane, but then I didn't take a plane. See, I'm also way ahead of your excuses, Luke.
You want to know something funny? The controller is packed in my bag for the plane because I was going to play it on the plane.
You want to know something really funny?
Yeah.
I shot a video with David this week. He's liquidating a ton of his retro collection, which you guys will actually get a shot at. So I worked this out with David, where it's not like a business negotiation. There was no handshake, but he's liquidating a lot of his retro collection because he's moving into a new place. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we could do like a tech hoarders episode. But I always believe that deals should be win-win. And so I was like, okay, normally it would be a little bit weird optics wise to like use the platform of the company to promote a personal sale. But if the company's getting a video out of it, and also like we're going to do a follow-up video on his like retro gaming cave at his new place that has a lot less memorabilia, but has like upgraded gear that was funded by selling the memorabilia. But then it's almost like an ultimate tech upgrade, but entirely self-funded. But then the company could maybe contribute like some resources, like laser time and machine time to make some cool decor, and like, so figuring out how to create some synergies here. So anyway, I was shooting this video with David, and he came to me partially, in addition to all that, because he needed some help. And the help he needed was the kick in the butt that he needed to get rid of a lot more of it than he otherwise would have. Where was I going with this? I completely forget where we started.
We were talking about Final Fantasy VI.
Right. So there were a couple of things. So one, I made him get rid of so much more than he planned. I've seen David stressed. We've worked together a very long time. Man, is he at his 5 years? Might be.
Did he start pre-COVID?
He's got to be darn close.
Did he start pre-COVID?
I think so.
Then.
Yeah. Dude. Anyway, he's got to be around there somewhere. The point is, David and I have not only worked together for a long time now, but we've worked together a lot. I tend to work with the camera team more than anybody else because that's what I spend most of my time doing, is shooting. So where was I going with this? Right, I've seen him stressed. Dude, you have never seen tension like this in an LTT video where I was like, he brought me in to like push him to de-hoarderify his situation, but he collected all this stuff because he like wants it, and he had already sorted it before I got there, and like was open to me pushing him harder, but was not enjoying it. But one of the things that I did to kind of help ease it is I was like, okay, I told myself before I came here that I wasn't going to buy a bunch of this stuff because I love this stuff too. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. No matter how convenient it is that he already has like pre-modded consoles and like all kinds of things that I would love to collect. But what I told him is that if I buy anything, I will buy it for, I think it was either 2X or 3X like sticker. So there were two things I bought. I bought a copy of Final Fantasy Tactics for the PlayStation 1.
That's cool.
Which I should have done ages ago. I have played through that game partway at least half a dozen times, and I've played through it all the way twice.
Yeah, not only is that a cool game that he'll almost certainly play, but it's also cool because you've talked about it like forever.
And I have never bought that game.
Yeah.
And that is, even by my own sort of, piracy ethics code, not okay. I needed to buy a copy of that game at some point. By the time I played it, it had been out of print anyway. Like there was no time at which Squaresoft, I don't think they were Square Enix yet, would have gotten any money from me for it. And me buying this used copy doesn't give them any money in any way. But at least I own a physical copy of the game. I have definitely owned it now. So I bought that, and I bought a SNES controller, and I told him it's because I'm sure Luke is never giving me mine back.
I will.
Sure. Well, in case you don't, I still have 2 now. That was a really long story. Really boring. My apologies.
I think we got precision screwdriver costs.
Oh, do we? Okay, what is it?
I'm surprised. I want you to read it to make sure that it's right.
Well, where do I read it?
It's under the how is the LTT screwdriver holding up section of the document.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
No, I got it. Wait, I don't got it. Where is it? I don't even see it. Under the...
Oh, sorry. Under the title of it.
Oh,
is it really that?
I don't know. What part of I don't... Okay, my kids do this all the time. They'll say, "Where's mom?" And I'll say, "I don't know." And they'll say, "Is she upstairs?" I'll be like, "What I just tell you?"
Well, no, here I'm asking for BS detector.
Already sent me a screenshot from something that Nick Light said.
Okay, cool.
Okay, right. It's $29.99.
So then it's, what was it, $4.80 off?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be $25 for the first 100.
Nice.
Really? Does that seem right?
That's what I was saying.
It's like all metal machined and stuff.
That's what I was saying.
Went with the expensive bearing and everything. We haven't even talked about some of the key benefits of it. This is a really cool product, and it's little things, just like with
everyone
the screwdriver.
Everyone in full chat's like, "You can't take it back."
Like just like with the screwdriver, you guys. It's not like we invented screwdrivers. It's not like we invented ratcheting screwdrivers. It's not like we invented ratcheting screwdrivers with bit storage in the handle. But that doesn't change the fact that a product can be much greater than the sum of its parts. And I think we're up in the neighborhood of around 150,000 screwdrivers now. Like absolutely colossal numbers. I'm probably underestimating. I'm making sure that the number that I say is what we've sold. And the reason for that is not because people just are suckers and fall for influencers or whatever the case may be. It's because it's a really good screwdriver. It's greater than the sum of its parts. It's well balanced. It feels good in the hand. It's durable. People absolutely love it. In fact, we've got a whole topic based on people on Reddit just posting how much they love their screwdrivers. I'm a technician at a science museum. I use something out of it.
Cool.
People are showing this thing being absolutely beat up to heck and back. Like you can tell, this one is shiny. This one is glossy from use. Okay, it's a beater screwdriver. I do other percussive maintenance. Anyway, the point is people absolutely love this product, and it's because we care so much about little fine details. And on this one of the big ones, and it's really hard to tell from here, but our precision bits are about the same length as you would find in the industry standard, but the actual shank is much longer and the hex is much shorter. And if you've ever used a precision kit, then you guys will probably know that occasionally they don't reach deep enough, and it's pretty friggin' annoying. And we felt the same way. So we designed our precision bits to reach just a little bit deeper. We couldn't go too long on them. If someone asks if we can travel with these, well, if you can travel with another one, you can travel with this one because they're exactly the same length as other people's bits. But the usable depth on the skinny shank ones is significantly greater. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't go a ton longer because there's going to be durability concerns for some of the really small ones. Like it is not a substitute for just like a long shaft fixed, like a fixed bit screwdriver. And as you go, as you go really long, there'll be too much wobble and stuff like that. Like there's other design concerns, but we've got a super strong magnet. We've got this longer shank, and I think you're going to find that the day-to-day usability is noticeably greater. So yeah, just really excited about this product. And yeah, pricing downright reasonable. I legitimately just didn't know what the pricing was going to be. That doesn't mean nobody ever talked to me about it at some point. Someone probably told me at some point.
Not top of mind, yeah.
Yeah, it's just been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally. Freaking finally. I feel like this thing's been basically ready for so long, and then it is freaking finally actually ready to launch.
Was it manufacturing stuff that held it off? Because I feel like it...
It was everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I told the story recently about how it turns out that the measurements of these small bits are not industry standard. So the standard, Tynan or Kyle would remember, the standard is to have it be the right measurement on the bit side, and then have the tolerance on the screwdriver side, but everyone else has the right measurement on the screwdriver side, and then the bits are smaller to account for tolerance or something like that. So we had done it the right way, but it turns out everybody else does it the other way, and so there was a risk that our standard sized bits with their tolerances would occasionally be too big for other people's precision screwdriver. And we were like, okay, well, people might want our bits. They might buy our bits to put in their existing kit because of the longer shafts, and they might discover that like they don't fit or something like that. So we didn't want to deal with that.
Fair enough.
So we had to like redo it anyway. Are we going to switch to After Dark? Because I think we're pretty close.
We're out of topics. So
Out of topics? Okay. After Dark it is.
It's no longer dark. We just changed the logo now. People didn't like that we were sitting in the dark on LMG clips.
Which makes sense. When you take it out of the context of the show, it's
it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys are reasonable.
But we do this now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a dark.
Kind of works.
Dark purple.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a light purple.
Ghost type.
Mid purple. Ghost type. Thanks for that.
Okay. I got some merch.
Brat purple?
Brat purple. No, Brat's green. You haven't even listened to it.
I don't know.
Suck. Not Brat.
No, not at all.
Not Brat. Okay, I got some merch messages here. Let's see. Question for Linus. Do you still frequent Beat Saber? Which platform have you settled on, watching on a Quest 3?
I haven't been playing much lately because the majority of my exercise has been swimming lately. Although Yvonne did Beat Saber for her cardio last night, and we are still on PC. I'm still on the Valve Index. It's the best overall package. The Big Screen Beyond is super cool, and there's lots of other really cool headsets from the like of Vario or however you pronounce that. The Quest 3 is super affordable and practical, but I already have an Index.
It's a little frustrating that is true, and the Index released in 2019.
Yeah, but it's outside-in tracking.
Which still...
The screen is good enough.
Like it's the best.
Dude, the near-field speakers on it.
Really good.
They friggin' crush.
Yeah.
They're outstanding. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to, like, Apple Vision... Like, what am I supposed to upgrade to? Dude, at this point, I would buy like a screen upgrade for my Index.
Yeah.
Over a lot of the other options that are out there. So I just keep ending up back at the Index. Index is based. I hope Deckard gets news, says Katos. I heard Deckard is supposed to be inside out, though. I'm not interested in wearing a phone on my face.
Yeah.
I just want an Index with a better screen. That and the Index comfort is so good. Like, it's a great package.
Hi, WAN.dll. Just built first PC with me and my brother. It's a sick basement gaming rig.
Nice.
What was the first PC that you built? What OS did it run? Mine runs Fedora 40. Love the new Scrapyard Wars.
First PC I ever built ran Windows XP. It was an Athlon 2500 plus Barton core. I overclocked it to the same clock speed as a 3200 plus, which I believe was 2.2 gigahertz or like 2.3 something. I had 512 megs. That's right, megs of DDR1 memory running in single channel. Because I, thought I might expand later. I had a 120 gigabyte,
which was very common back then.
120 gigabyte SATA drive. I spent
wow.
I spent less on the I got less cache. I got the 2 meg cache 120 gig one instead of the 8 meg cache 80 gig one. I wanted more capacity versus more cache. I wasn't convinced that cache made that big of a difference. I had a Soltec MRN L motherboard, Enforce 4 chipset. I had an Antec Landboy, which had a Smart Blue 350 watt power supply. And then I reused my old peripherals. So I had an old CRT from my uncle's old computer, which was unironically fine. And then Microsoft Natural Ergonomic keyboard and just like a generic, I probably had a ball mouse at the beginning. I don't even know if I had like a generic laser mouse yet. But at some point I got like a generic Logitech laser mouse. And then I used a piece of A4 paper as a mouse pad. For actually, I went through some upgrades to everything else before I ditched the A4 paper mouse pad.
My first PC that I built myself was Windows XP. I had built stuff with my dad that was earlier than that, but realistically, how much of that was my own doing is probably very small. Like my dad was doing basically everything at that point in time.
And if you're asking what GPU did I have, I didn't. That's why I got the MRN-L, because it had onboard GeForce graphics, which, spoiler alert, remember when I talked earlier about how NVIDIA bamboozled me once before I was very knowledgeable with their misleading naming? GeForce 4 MX was a lot closer architecturally to GeForce 2 than it was to GeForce 4. It wasn't even DirectX 8, if I recall correctly.
Really?
Yeah. So that was when they got me. I spent extra on this motherboard that I thought had, like, I heard GeForce 4 was good. I didn't know anything yet. So I got this onboard graphics that I thought was like, you know, yeah, it's on board, but it's like good. It's like good on board. It's GeForce. I didn't know. I didn't know it sucked.
Yeah. That branding was frustrating. I remember that at the time.
Yep.
Hey, Linus, I'm the head lifeguard at my pool, and my manager has been pushing me to do more desk work. How did you handle the similar change in your life as LMG grew? Wish there was more space for nuance. I guess nuance.
I don't know. It's some days I like and appreciate, you know, having a greater impact through, you know, team building and, you know, and all working together, like that sense of group accomplishment. Like that's really good. You got to kind of learn to enjoy that as well. But there's days that I don't even have a test bench in my office anymore.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. I like tinkering with things, you know? That's way more fun for me. Like I'll get caught up on set sometimes. They'll be like telling me, okay, yeah, you got to stop like troubleshooting this and go to another shoot. Let someone else fix it. I'm like, yeah, but that's lame. Like I want to fix it. And I don't know. I think as a tinkerer, I've never really gotten over that.
Hey, all, I am a truck driver working on transitioning to tech. I used to run HA in a VM, my main gaming PC. The Riot Games anti-cheat would freeze my PC. Any thoughts on anti-cheat breaking things?
When you say HA, do you mean Home Assistant?
I'm assuming so.
I don't know.
Yeah, man, I was thinking about this the other day. Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was you who flagged someone uploaded some toolkit or something that had a gaming PC in it on Reddit. I thought you showed it to me. Yeah, and you and someone else were both like, yeah, we should totally do like 7 gamers, 1 CPU again.
Mobile.
But like a mobile one. Yeah. The problem is that it doesn't work. The compatibility would be basically as bad as like a Steam Deck or like a Snapdragon, because anything with anti-cheat just immediately craps out when you're using virtualization.
But it's a LAN rig, so who cares? Just play old games. Can you play Halo CE?
Yeah, but if you're gonna play,
hell yeah,
if you're gonna play old games, why don't you just? I don't know. Why are you gonna build like a cutting edge AMD EPYC like server thing with a bunch of modern GPUs in it to play Halo Combat Evolved?
Left 4 Dead 2, Halo CE, maybe some Rocket League sprinkled in there.
Yeah, but you could play that on a bunch of laptops. Like that's my point.
Fun. Who cares?
What do you mean it's still fun? The gaming is the fun.
Yeah, building the computer is the fun though.
I don't know. I'm just over it. Now that anti-cheat just locks you out of any modern game as soon as it detects a VM, I think it's dead. And I've had this debate with the the guy that used to be at Unraid and is now at Eshtec, who is like really passionate about that stuff and really helped us get 7 Gamers 1 CPU over the line. His new project, which investment disclosure I invested in because I think he's a cool guy and his team's cool. No offense, John, not because I haven't necessarily a ton of confidence, but yeah. The point is that I've debated with him, and I've just been like, dude, I think it's dead. And he's still really like passionate about virtualization and that kind of a use case. I'm like, dude, it's over. If you're, take the money, do whatever you want, but please don't do that.
It's over for competitive games with anti-cheat, but there is a lot of games out there that don't have that.
Yeah, there are, but
there aren't a lot of high-end games in general right now. And most of them, like you're talking about actually having a need for the hardware, most of these competitive games that you're talking about won't push it anyways.
Sure, but the one that killed it for me was we were going to do the LAN center at home with that. We were going to do a 5 Gamers 1 CPU setup. Mm-hmm. And then Jake and I set it up to do the proof of concept video, and we tried to launch Halo Infinite. And we couldn't play it. Like, oh.
Yeah. There is definitely games. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of stuff that it wouldn't necessarily apply to. There is also a lot of stuff that it would apply to.
Yeah, and the last thing that I want to do is, just, it's hard enough to all agree on a game and get it working. Mm-hmm. Adding virtualization and potential conflicts with anti-cheat doesn't make it better.
Tape to Tape got an update.
I know.
The
Manual goalies
and the AI's way better.
Manual goalies, brother. Guess what? Our squad got an update.
Oh?
Yeah. Fucking Colin plays. Dude, he's like, yeah, I heard you guys talking about it and stuff, but I never mentioned it.
Let's go.
And I was like, dude, it's like the only game I play right now. Why didn't you say anything?
Our biggest problem
is like, yeah, I've been playing a ton of Tape to Tape.
We have constantly rotating players. That's honestly a huge problem.
So squad now, you, me, Elijah, Yvonne, we've got Chase in the squad. David plays.
Oh, he's probably killer at it. He's good at video games.
He's sweaty as all hell.
Good.
And also played hockey for years.
Fantastic.
And now we've got Colin. So we've got 7 people that we can draw from when we want to do a run now.
Hell yeah. That's actually exciting.
Did I miss anybody? That would be super embarrassing if I missed anybody.
There's other people that wasn't it Angus? Got pretty good there.
Yeah, Angus got pretty good at the LAN.
Yeah, there's other people that have kind of dropped in here or there, but I don't think they would practice.
Yeah. So yeah, Colin plays. He almost beat me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And he might have.
We need that.
The game got interrupted because he was running some kind of weird music production software, and it ripped the audio device away from the game. We think it caused a crash.
Yeah.
So that the crash will probably get cut from the AMD Ultimate Tech Upgrade, just because we're worried people will get confused and think it was because of AMD or something. It's not.
Right. Yeah.
But it was actually because I forget what the tool's called, but it that tool had an error to do with the audio device, right when the game crashed on the other screen. So we're pretty sure it was because of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tape to Tape. Let's go.
Last one I've got for you here. Can't wait to get that backpack. Question for Linus. Has anyone failed to recognize you now that you are blonde-ish?
Man, I can be wearing sunglasses and a hood, and people will stop me in the street. I don't think they need the hair color. I don't know what it is. I don't know what makes me so what.
We met last weekend. Impromptu, just walking past each other in a parking lot, and he thought I was a fan.
Okay.
Oh no. Ow.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
How can you tell that story? What's wrong with you?
It was really
That's
funny.
not even related to what they were saying. They were asking how recognizable I was.
It was genuinely really funny.
That's horrible.
I got double taked so hard.
Oh my God.
Hard.
Look, I have talked about this on the show before. I have a really hard time recognizing people out of context. I'm really bad with faces. I'm bad with names. I'm especially bad with faces. And I'm especially bad when I see them out of context. I wasn't expecting to see Luke just walking out of a restaurant I was heading into. And when I see someone wearing an LTT shirt, I looked at the shirt first. When I see someone wearing a shirt, it's not a completely crazy thing for me to assume that they're a viewer and they're just like waving at me. And so when Luke just randomly waved at me and was like, "Hey, Linus," I saw the shirt and I was like, "Hey."
It was pretty quick. It was a pretty quick double take.
And I had to, I didn't realize it was him at first. I figured it out pretty fast.
Yes. Yeah.
I recognized Emma.
Yeah.
But yes, I did not recognize Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, why do you get a man?
It was funny. To be fair, I had a similar type of reaction. I just saw you first, so I had enough time to like process it before I actually said anything. Because what was confusing for me was that I saw you and I saw all the kids, but Yvonne wasn't there, and my brain didn't like immediately click in. Because like your hair, I had sort of forgot. I had just done it, but I like forgot.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What?" Like.
We also had a kid that wasn't one of ours, so that probably was a factor.
It was a little odd.
Which is,
how does it make me feel? I don't care at all.
It's like, not just like a YouTuber thing that it was legit. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. I have destroyed him.
Oh my god. Oh.